invited the biggest hater of extra credit at this school.
If you haven't guessed who it is yet, here's an introduction to the one and only Miss Bonzo. If it was.
Can I have extra credit? No, that's nonsense.
Safe to say, we're not getting any extra credit.
But what are the reasons behind teachers refusing to give extra credit in the first place?
Let's hear it from Miss Bonzo.
Students should earn the grade with regular credit. They should put in the hard work when it's needed and earn a solid grade like that. That's why there's no need for it. For example, for you guys, you're very sweet, very hardworking, very responsible, and you do what you're supposed to do, and you already have very strong grades that reflect your knowledge. There is no need for extra credit. Extra credit is a gift, which I give when I feel that there is a need for a gift. Students should earn the
Some more reasons that teachers refuse to give extra credit is that it creates an imbalance between normal work and extra credit.
Instead of doing the normal work, students do the extra credit and become very reliant on it.
At a certain point of excessive extra credit, students start to not put in as much effort into normal assignments.
Grades can become a measure of not who met the goal, but a measure of who is better. On the other hand, extra credit pushes students to go above and beyond, increasing the amount of content they learn and the curiosity for a subject.
Not only is this point brought up by numerous articles, but in my own personal experience, it has led me to do and learn way more about the subject. This extra competition and incentive has led me to win multiple awards and discover my passion for film.
Extra credit also creates a more caring and positive classroom environment, taking away the stress of having to do perfect on every single assignment, making even the smallest assignments like homework feel like a test.
It can also be used to help assist and give a fair chance to ELD students.
Another point that teachers against extra credit bring up is that extra credit gives students a false impression of how they're doing in class.
So if you see an A in your Power School portal, but majority of that grade is actually made up of extra credit, the grade that you have in that class won't be reflected by your actual knowledge.
For example, if your normal work grade was a B, but you used some extra credit to bring it up to an A, you might think that class is one of your stronger classes, but when you sign up for a harder class the following year, suddenly you don't understand why your grades are plummeting.
Yet this is not always the case. What many arguments against extra credit miss is that extra credit doesn't have to actually be separate from the content taught in normal work.
At this point in research, it is clear that both sides have valid arguments and that no definite conclusions can be made to whether or not extra credit is beneficial to students.
So we decided to focus on the solutions.
First of all, extra credit needs to be related to the actual content of the class and needs to be more difficult to do than normal credit.
This keeps the incentive and competition that extra credit gives, while also satisfying the argument that the students will want to do normal work, that students will want to do extra credit rather than normal work, because now the extra credit will actually be a lot harder than normal work.
By also keeping it on topic, it shows the message that putting in more work and effort results in good payoff, which is a useful attitude to have in the real world.
Because of this, extra credit also needs to be graded not just by completion, but by accuracy.
The opportunity to do extra credit should also be given equally to all students to keep it fair, but some exceptions can be made to students with disadvantages compared to others. Overall, extra credit is beneficial to an extent, considering that it's on topic, giving equal access to all students, and is more difficult to complete than the normal